So let's begin. Welcome everybody, and let's start as we always do. Let's just say the invocation together with the extra words, the message and the mystery. Joining our hands across time and space. Well, actually, just across space. We don't need to do it across time because we're all here.
So that's easy.
Towards
the one,
the
perfection of love, harmony and beauty,
the only being, united with all the illuminated souls, who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the spirit of guidance. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
We begin in the name of the only being, who is all mercy, all compassion.
Infinite love. Amen.
Amen.
Do you want to say something about
our theme for today?
Theme for this evening?
Yeah, we're going to do things on the theme of wisdom. So we've got our next one in the list of beautiful names, which is Yahakam, which is about discerning wisdom. So I'll be sharing, well, we've both got some readings about that, and we'll do some practice with it, and dances on the theme of truth and wisdom. So you were going to start by waking us up with some...
Yeah. Probably the most energizing dance I know. Yahai Yahuk.
Yahai Yahuk.
Yahai Yahuk. So Yahai, the infinite life force that permeates everything, including ourselves. Yahuk, divine truth, the truth that we manifest through our beings in this moment. So, we'll just start straight away. So it's Yahai Yahuk. Yahai Yahuk. Yahai Yahuk.
It's a really difficult key.
Okay, forget that. Forget the pitch. I didn't even. Yahuk. Yahai Yahuk. That's the wrong key, apparently. Okay.
That'll do.
Yahai Yahuk. This is right. I'm going to just talk to you from over here, okay? Can you hear me all right? Yes, excellent. So let's begin by walking on the spot, because we're not walking in a circle. We're just going to be walking on the spot. Really feel your feet on the ground, pacing out that rhythm, and then we're going to be turning like this, and all the time raising our hands and bringing them down to the earth. And then we're going to be facing the screen. Again, keep your feet moving. Hands facing the screen, then hands to the earth. And then we will be imagining that we're holding hands with each other, raising hands together, lowering hands. Okay? And let's keep our feet going all the time, because it really, gets the energy going, gets that life force flowing. And then every so often I'll double time. I'll say double time, and we'll do it twice as fast. We're not going to do this for too long, so don't worry about it. Yahai Yahuk. Yahai Yahuk. Yahai Yahuk. together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha! Great, there you go. I was feeling tired earlier. Not anymore. I think that, for me, that is just about the most instantaneously powerful energy-changing dance there is. It can change my state so quickly.
It's almost a definition of a dance of universal peace, that it changes our state like that. Shall I go straight into the next one?
Yeah.
So this one has words in Aramaic, Allah Hedi, and so Hedi is connected with the Arabic word Hadi, the guide, Allah, the word for sacred unity, the word that Jesus used for God. And so we're really saying that God is our guide, our connection with sacred unity. It's like when we talk about the spirit of guidance in the invocation. That's what we're calling on. But there's something extra in the roots in the Aramaic which talks about the joy of being guided. And Jesus says, leap for joy, be rejoice greatly, leap for joy. And that's this sense that when we are following that guidance, when we're open to it, and when we're when we're really allowing ourselves to let it through and let it in, there's something very joyful about that. So Allah Hedi,
Allah Hedi,
Allah Hedi,
Allah Hedi,
and then we say Hi,
Hi,
which is the same as in Arabic. It's life. Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi. Wonderful. So opening to eternal life through following this guidance, the connection to the Holy One. Okay, let's stand up and move. So it's a little bit less energetic than the previous dance. Thank you. We're going to be stepping to the left, leaning with the heart to the left and touching with the right, and then stepping to the right, leaning and touching with the left. Step, lean and touch. And then we're going to just step and step. So you'll feel how that goes with the music. When we go, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi. Yeah, and bringing the arms up can just really help give that lift. It's like the message comes through and off we go. So, leaning left. Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi. Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi. Hi. Allah Hedi, Allah Hedi, Allah Amen.
Amen.
So I want to read a really wonderful passage from our favourite book, The Physicians of the Heart. This is all about discerning wisdom. So in the Quran, there's a hadith, there's a treatise at the end of one of the surahs where it's suggested that true wisdom comes from knowing what you don't know. True wisdom comes from knowing what you don't know. Overcoming the arrogance that arises from thinking you know something when you really don't is the crucial step to take to be able to receive guidance from God and to act with wisdom in the world. I feel like I want to read all these sentences twice, if that's okay. Overcoming the arrogance that arises from thinking you know something when really you don't is the crucial step to take to be able to receive guidance from God and to act with wisdom in the world. This next bit is so beautiful it makes me shiver. What you know and what you don't know is like a lattice work of form and emptiness. What you know and what you don't know is like a lattice work of form and emptiness. Higher wisdom arises when you are aware of the whole fabric. Then you don't have to decide if what you're perceiving is a positive or a void or inner or outer. You are at the nexus of knowing and not knowing. The spirit of guidance is attracted into that in-between space. This witnessing place at the heart centre of the known and the unknown is the beginning of wisdom. Awareness of God can originate in the space where you are not clinging to knowing. There are two components of wisdom, knowledge and practice. Iman is the highest kind of knowing. It is a certainty that is both inward and outward. And then we also have amal, which is ability and skillful practice. And it's also described as sul, which is the nexus between knowledge and practice. Maybe I'll come back and read that next bit after what we do next. Do you want any of that again?
Yeah. Tom's nodding. Lakshmi, I've got a few thumbs,
a few thumbs
nods.
up.
Yes.
Okay, I mean it's just really beautiful, isn't it? And do you know? I mean, I don't know how this was for anybody else, but you know, I grew up really believing I needed to know. It really mattered in my family that you knew, and you know, being able to admit that I didn't know was such a huge step. And you know, just the kind of fear around that and how I would kind of watch and listen and try and work things out without ever daring to ask questions, because that would show that I didn't know. You know, there was a huge amount of energy tied up in that. So, you know, just to be able to rest in this beautiful filigree nest of knowing and not knowing all present at the same time. Oh gosh, I just find it so beautiful. So, true wisdom comes from knowing what you don't know. overcoming the arrogance that arises from thinking you know something when you really don't, is the crucial step to take to be able to receive guidance from God and to act with wisdom in the world. What you know and what you don't know is like a lattice work of form and emptiness. Higher wisdom arises when you are aware of the whole fabric. You are at the nexus of knowing and not knowing, and the spirit of guidance is attracted into that in-between space. This witnessing place at the heart center of the known and the unknown is the beginning of wisdom. I think I'm going to need to copy that and put it on our Facebook page. So I'll do that so that you can read it again afterwards. So, just going back to that, there was a reference, I didn't read that part again, but to Iman, the highest kind of knowing, a certainty that is both inward and outward. Sometimes that's translated as trust or faith, Iman. So, not to be confused with imam, which is a different word. So Iman with the N at the end of it, trust and faith, and we can kind of really feel that in our bodies. So I'm going to share a moving practice. It's a kind of walking practice, really, with 4 different names in Arabic that can help us to move through this process of receiving wisdom and putting it into action in the world. So the first one is Ya Haq, that we've already worked with this evening. Let's say that together. Ya Haq.
Ya Haq.
Truth. Ya Sabur.
Ya Sabur.
So Ya Sabur is sometimes translated as patience. It has to do with working within a structure or a form. So it's working within restriction and finding freedom within that restriction, which is, you could say, was a description of human life, of being a human. We are functioning within the basic restrictions of physical form, for example, and yet, at some level we know we're infinite beings, and we have to navigate these restrictions of body and time and space. And the restriction of, people that we live with, or people that we work with, or people that are around us, and the barriers to what might feel like complete freedom. And then there's also finding the real freedom, which is actually on the inside, that is independent of any restriction. So that's Ya Sabur speaks to all of that. Then we have this Ya Iman. Ya Iman. This higher knowing, both inner and outer, this trust, faith, certainty. And finally, Ya Salik. Ya Salik, which is this, there's so many ways of understanding this word, but I've had it described as the great giveaway, the balance of giving and receiving, being prepared to give and just let it all go, and recognizing that at the end, it's not ours anyway. So sometimes it's called the spiritual wayfarer. There's this sense of following this path, this narrow winding path between, you could say, between duty and service, or between this and that. It's the path, I guess, for which we're asking for guidance, the path that Ya Iman can help us to find. Have you got any insights about Ya Salik? Ya Salik?
Well, it was given to me as my name, as meaning one who has both, who treads the path that is both in the world and a path of balance between the path of the world and the path of the spirit. So it's you could say in the world but not of the world.
very, very Sufi path.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So, Ya Haq, our truth, the truth of each one of us. What's my truth right now? Ya Sabur, how can I work within the framework, the structures, the restrictions that I'm faced with, you know? I can't just wish they weren't there. Well, I can wish they weren't there, but they're not going to go just because I wish that. So how can I find the freedom to operate within those restrictions? Leading to Ya Iman, this deep inner knowing, this certainty, opening to trust and faith, which can guide us on this path, Ya Salik, this path of being in the world but not of the world. So there's a melody for these, and then there's also some movements. Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Ya Salik, 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 Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Ya Salik. So these movements that just might help us to embody these qualities and to ground them in the physical. Really recommend engaging the body as much as possible with all the practice that we do for that reason. So we're familiar with this movement for Ya Haq, connecting with the ground of our being, connecting with the earth beneath our feet, manifesting, bringing truth into form. So Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, just cupping the hands at the hara here in the belly, just feeling that sense of containment and yet all this space and freedom within the container. Coming to the heart, Ya Iman, if you wish one hand on the belly or both hands on the heart. I'm just really loving bringing the belly into things at the moment, so I keep putting my hand on there. Ya Iman, feeling the openness. Feeling the openness of the sound, Ya Iman, echoing in the heart and landing, Iman. And Ya Salik, opening out into this giveaway, this path of spiritual freedom in the world but not of the world. So, you can do that walking on the spot. Again, just stepping helps to keep a sense of rhythm. Or you can walk freely around your space. Sometimes it's quite nice to follow a path and just let guidance lead you around. See what comes. Opening to the spirit of guidance. Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Ya Salik, Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Ya Salik, Ya Haq, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Ya Salik, Ya Haq, Ya Sabur,
Yasari, Ya Hak, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, 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 Yasari. One more time. Ya Hak, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Yasari, Ya Hak, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Yasari, Ya Hak, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Yasari, Ya Hak, Ya Sabur, Ya Iman, Yasari.
Amen.
Amen.
Some of your bits.
Read some of my bits. So we were having a look round for something about wisdom. And here are a few words of Pema Chodron, who is a Buddhist teacher from the United States. I just grabbed a few odds and ends from her writings. She begins in this section saying, meditation is a process of lightening up. I like to substitute spiritual practice. The spiritual path is a process of lightening up.
We sometimes talk about Sufis. Ease that comes with Sufi practice. Sorry, I had to get that joke in.
Okay.
Back to the serious stuff. Sorry about that.
So, our practice is a process of lightening up, of trusting the basic goodness of what we have and who we are, and of realizing that any wisdom that exists in what we already have. Our wisdom is all mixed up with what we call our neurosis. Our brilliance, our juiciness, our spiciness is all mixed up with our craziness and our confusion. And therefore it doesn't do any good to try and get rid of our so-called negative aspects, because in that process we also get rid of our basic wonderfulness.
That's lovely, isn't it?
I like that. And then she says, and somewhere else, the source of wisdom is whatever is happening to us right at this very instant. Right there in the uncertainty of everyday chaos is our own wisdom mind. Perhaps where we least expect to find it. So I'll just read the first bit again, or bit of it anyway. Our wisdom is all mixed up with what we call our neurosis. Our brilliance, our juiciness, our spiciness is all mixed up with our craziness and our confusion. And therefore it doesn't do any good to try to get rid of our so-called negative aspects, because in that process we also get rid of our basic wonderfulness.
It just really reminds me of that lattice work that I was reading about before. On the wrong page. What you know and what you don't know is like a lattice work of form and emptiness. All this, what's wise and what's crazy is like a lattice work, It can be surprising what we judge as one thing and what we judge as another. Well, I thought I knew where we were going next, but I want to jump in with a little bit of talking about holy wisdom and Chokhmah's table here, because that's really what this is all about. So this comes from, its roots are in very early in the Old Testament, in the ancient book of Genesis, ancient Jewish writings, who understood holy wisdom as this goddess. And part of what we're told about her, she's called Chokhmah, or Sophia in the Greek, but Chokhmah is her ancient Hebrew name. We're told that she lays a table and she fills it with spiced wines and all kinds of good things to eat, and she runs through the community, through the town, and she encourages everybody to come to that table and to be fed. And so, we can feel the resonance of that story in the desire we have to separate the known and the unknown, or the crazy and the wise, or to allocate these things, some of them as being desirable and some of them as being undesirable. And what Chokhmah says is, it's all welcome. It's all part of it. And by bringing it all together and showing it that we care, showing it that it's included, it's nourished, there's enough food, there's enough love, there's enough to feed all of those parts of ourselves. And in that is how we become whole, how we become fully human. That's the form and the container which can receive the spirit of guidance and allow it through.
Easier said than done, of course.
It's a lifetime's work. You could say it's why we're here. And as what's that book where they say, here's a test to know, do you remember the Richard Bach
There's
book?
a Richard Bach.
Yeah.
Here's a test to know whether you've completed your
Well,
purpose on earth.
if you're still here, you haven't. Do you want to do this?
I think that was on the cover of his book. It's the only thing I can remember. What am I doing now?
Guru Ramdas?
Guru. Oh, I thought you were going to go into Chokhmah.
I know, but I don't want to.
Oh, okay. So we were thinking about what to share this evening, searching around for bits and pieces about wisdom, and I remembered that in the Sikh tradition, one of the central mantras, Waheguru, has a meaning of indescribable wisdom, divine, indescribable wisdom. So Waheguru. If you want to say that.
Waheguru.
So I'll just sing it through and then I'll tell you the words. tell you a bit more. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Ram Das Guru, Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. So Guru Ramdas Guru is the fourth Guru in the Sikh lineage, the fourth of 10, and was known as the Guru of the heart. And he, one of the things that was very much the focus of his teachings was healing and a focus on the heart energy. And you can feel it in this dance. This song has a beautiful quality to it. So the words are Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru,
Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru,
Guru, Guru, Ramdas Guru,
Guru, Guru, Ramdas Guru,
Guru. So we'll just sing it a line at a time. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. So sing that with me. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Now let's sing the next line. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Sing with me. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Sing from the beginning. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Same again. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Again. Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. The indescribable wisdom of the heart. So, if you wish to move, we've modified the movements a little to work a bit better in this medium. So we begin with our left hand on our heart and our right hand, you can imagine it is on the back of our partner. Imagine it's on somebody else's back, connecting with their heart. And we're just stepping very slowly to the right. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru, Guru Ram. Then turning backwards. Ras Guru. And we turn all the way around and then end up with our right hand on our heart, with our left hand behind our spirit partner. And we step to the left. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru. And then turn to the left. Guru Ram Das Guru.
If you imagine, I could feel Salik's hand on my back, but we can imagine that hand on our back as well as on our front. So our heart is held between our own hand and this guidance that's just coming in, support and guidance from behind, just open to that awareness, the back of the heart.
Nice. And then we're going to walk inwards. No, we're not. We're going to walk outwards. Stepping back with your left foot. And we're going to be opening our arms out so it kind of opens the chest, opens the heart space. And then we'll be leaning back again, expanding and opening, surrendering more. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru. So when we sing Wahe Guru, we're stopping at that point. We're not walking back any further. So on Wahe Guru, when that note is up high like that, we are leaning backwards with our heart, with our chest open. Wahe Guru. And then we walk in again, bringing our hands back up to our heart. Guru Ram Das Guru. And then we do the same again. Guru, Guru, leaning back. Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Back to the beginning of the dance. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru, Guru turning Ram Das Guru. Right hand on heart. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru. Turning to the left. Das Guru. Stepping back. Guru, Guru, leaning back. Hare Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. Stepping back again. Guru, Guru, Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Low voices. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Together. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Low voices. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. High voices. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Just breathing the words, moving. Really opening yourself. Tenderly singing. Guru, Guru, Waheguru, Guru Ramdas, Guru. Guru, Waheguru. Indescribable wisdom.
Indescribable wisdom.
And there is something that I like to do. Because wa in Sanskrit means wow, amazing, incredible. And I like to go wow. So that, let's all do that together. Wow.
That's great, isn't it? That should be a mantra, shouldn't it? Wow!
Wow!
So we're going to do some repetitions of Ya Hakam and Ya Hakim. So Hakam is this discerning wisdom. Going back to the book, it's called the goal of all knowledge, inner and outer. Through this wisdom you become able to discern between what is real and what is transient. The ability to discern erases all doubt so that a seeker of wisdom can focus on the truth amidst the most confusing of conditions. And one more quotation. A hadith says, "Be aware of the penetrating insight of the believer, because such a one sees by the light of God." So this discerning wisdom, it's like seeing with God's eyes.
Ooh, I'd like to do that.
So again, through this kind of wisdom you become able to discern between what is real and what is transient. It erases all doubt so that you can focus on the truth amidst the most confusing of conditions. Ya Hakam offers a way out of the feeling of powerlessness in the face of all the raging desires. And so we're going to pair it with Ya Hakim, healing wisdom. And we're going to come back to Ya Hakim in a few more weeks, and we'll share more about the meaning of Hakim there. But Ya Hakam, discerning wisdom, Ya Hakim, healing wisdom. Ya Hakam, Ya Hakim, 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 Ya Hakam, Ya Hakim. So let's breathe in Hakim, healing wisdom, and breathe out Hakam, discerning wisdom. And releasing the words, just breathing with the feeling. Can we breathe with this filigree, this lattice work of what we know and what we don't know? Allowing the space to open in the heart for the spirit of guidance to come through. So we're going to move into some zikr from this point.
Excellent. I hoped you were going to say that.
Just following the spirit of guidance. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha illallah, 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 hu, Allah, hu. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha illallah, illallah, illallah. stand and move with this, do join us if you choose. So it's a kind of rowing motion. Let's imagine that we're holding hands, that we're united in our circle, reaching out with our hands and with our hearts to make that connection with each other. And we're leaning in with the right foot into the circle and out with the left foot. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha. This beautiful Zikr boat on the ocean of love. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha. into the space which is opening up here, allowing the voice of wisdom, the spirit of guidance, room to be drawn into this space, to guide us with discerning and healing wisdom. Amen.
Amen.
I had such a beautiful sense there that we were all in our little boats, all rowing towards each other, all coming across this great dark ocean of life to come together. Beloveds, so precious to be together like this, to be able to share this journey across the wild ocean of life.
To share this who.
This expanse.
Who.